Hi, Tony. Thanks for inviting me in to hear some of my thoughts and feedback on the meeting we had today. To jump right in, I'd like to say I really enjoyed how you focused on staying on topic, and I really appreciate the planned agenda you had. It really showed to me that the meeting was planned and the outline discussions were relevant. So I appreciate that because it really highlights your ability to ensure that the team was having a valuable meeting and wasn't just meeting for the sake of meeting. So thank you. Also, I really appreciate how you showed concern for others, specifically in this one particular instance with John, where he mentioned one of his concerns with the team, and you decided that it was appropriate enough for us to discuss it in our next meeting, and that I remember you mentioning that you were going to add it to the agenda, and I smiled upon that because I really thought that it highlights your ability to tend to others' concerns and attempt to provide solution. And that impact added some level of trust from my perspective, as well as I think the team had same feelings as well. John, there were a few areas of concern that I wanted to share with you, and my hope is that you will receive them with an open mind and address them appropriately. So I remember when Donna was speaking, you cut her off to discuss another topic or another assignment rather. And this made me feel like you did not value her feedback as much as you had valued John's. And this impacted Donna's engagement drastically. And in other environments, this behavior is likely to reduce engagement on a much bigger scale. So, I think it would be helpful if you did not interrupt other teammates, especially while they're speaking. And myself as well as the team may miss some valuable information that Donna wanted to relay that may be very valuable for us, in our next meeting, and may impact us drastically, whether it could be positively or negatively. I remember you also interrupting John to discuss presentation skills. I know you had a lot to discuss, and this is the purpose of the outlined agenda and our timekeeper, Donna, to ensure that the appropriate time was allotted to cover areas of focus. In the future, if you feel as though you need more time to cover areas of focus, possibly review your agenda ahead of schedule in case some new topic areas of concern have come up that you want to add to the agenda. But more so, make sure that you extend the time if needed and if the calendar will permit. That way, we can make sure that we're able to cover the topics, and we're doing it in a way that we're not cutting off other discussions and other feedback from members of the team to ensure that we get our piece of the discussion in. Some last feedback that I had for you was when the team started to talk about which direction the project should go, and you insisted that the team follow your lead. Now, I don't know if you remember, but a lot of the team was pretty adamant on following Donna's lead on this, but you were persistent in making sure that the team follow your lead. And this made me feel like I, along with my team members, were unimportant and that somehow we were beneath you in our abilities to lead. The overall goal should be and should always be to promote great team morale, and engaging the team in critical decisions like this will allow that to happen. Hi, Chris. Thanks so much for being open to meeting with me today. Aside from our team meeting, I just had some thoughts that I wanted to share with you, and I appreciate you being open to hearing that. So I noticed that in the meeting, several times you left the meeting to tend to matters that were on your mobile device. I'm not sure what was going on, but this made me feel like the team meeting that was scheduled ahead of time was not important to you. And I was concerned with your ability to add value to our meeting as you were not in the room to hear our discussions. I know you add a ton of value to many of our meetings, so you are valued and appreciated. But if there were areas of concern that you needed to attend to that was maybe sudden, we would totally support you if anything came up. But just please try to keep the team in the loop so that we can support you 100%. And to be honest, the interruptions kept happening. You kept entering the room multiple times. And a few times you asked for updates into the meeting. This got a little frustrating because we were getting some synergy going in the room. We were having real discussions, and each time that you asked for an update, we had to stop, try to recap, and it really interjected the flow of the meeting and the progress that we were making as a team. And when you interject and ask for feedback, it made me simply frustrated because I saw a lack of respect for the team and a lack of professionalism. Business meetings are timely events and should always be treated as such. Furthermore, but I would like to say that I appreciate the initiative on taking the lead on the teaming assignment. But one thing I did notice was that you didn't set a definite time, a definite commitment date. So leading a meeting with no definitive next steps and without a firm meeting time set, it just gives off the notion that the meeting is not important and is not really required. And members may not be as prepared when you call the next meeting. And we want to make sure that we're holding each other accountable and that we fully understand next steps, and we have put timelines in place to make sure that we're making progress. However, I can honestly appreciate the fact that you were willing to help in many areas. You seem definitely like you were all in, and I appreciate that. I feel like that's a key intangible that we have to have individually as team members, and I really felt that you are a team player. I feel like if you work on some of these things and you take heed to this feedback and you get a little bit more engaged and make sure that, if anything comes up, you're letting us know, I think that we'll be on the same page. And if you miss anything from you having to step out for a moment, we can make sure that we write things down and provide you that feedback in a timely fashion, but at an appropriate time setting as well. Thanks so much for hearing my feedback. You're very important to me, and I hope that it was helpful.